All right, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere else like that. This is Sauerkraut from the Coffee with Sauerkraut show, wearing my special shirt today. Mullets rule. If you got a mullet, you got to wear that with pride. Speaking of mullets, we got a late bloomer here. Oh, look at this guy. He's late. He's got luscious locks. First day on the job, and he comes in late. We're going to have to write you up for that, Melody.
Of course, I'm used to that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think this is going to be like suspension for 2 or 3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, sure. All right, whatever. I am coming in late, and I will be right back.
Oh, well,
enjoy yourselves.
Guess he forgot something while he was late. Hey, don't forget that we can still hear you, Melody.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, all right. All right. So if you are just joining us, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, share all that stuff. We're live on Sorghum Fry Media, Access Radio, Rosner Management, Rise Up TV. We're live on YouTube and Twitter and even Twitch. We have like 1 or 2 people from Twitch that follow us. So we got Mark Rosner calling in here. Hello. He says, "Hey, Mark, thank you for joining us here."
Hello.
So our special guest today, besides Mellow Lee, is actually DustyMarcus. So DustyMarcus, how are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Yes. So we are actually, just down the road from each other. And when I say down the road, I'm talking, in relative terms. We're in Niagara Falls, Ontario. You're in London.
Yep.
And so Pamela reached out to me. Speaking of Pamela, there she is. Great to see you guys. Yeah. She reached out to me and told me about you and that, you had a new single coming out and stuff like that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that new single?
Well, a lot of it was actually recorded here in my home studio because we weren't able to get out. I had started writing. Some of the songs we put on there were actually written a long time ago. They just I never had the opportunity to sort of bring them to the forefront. But so it sort of just developed. We started with a long time ago. Night Train was the one that I started writing back in the 90s, and just never really finished it, So, no, we're very happy with it and very proud of it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what was the inspiration for, how many albums have you done first?
I have one prior to this one called DustyMarcus, which is just a bunch of older stuff that I'd done, and I put it all together into an album. Yeah.
And how would you describe your genre?
It's interesting because I say it's pop now, just popular, but I went with folk, but it's not really, I asked a few people and asked, what would you class this as? Someone said country. I'm like, well, I don't think it's country. And then it was folk rock. The problem with that is that you don't, you kind of close out a lot of listeners who say, well, I don't listen to folk, so I'm not going to listen to that.
Right.
I gotta say, when it comes to describing a musical genre, if you stick yourself into a genre, then you might remove some of your own creativity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. If you're free to just express, then go for it.
And the music just comes, and it is what it is, right? So
that's right.
You're gonna like it or you're not gonna like it, but that's
yeah.
Well, there is always that.
When you think of people like the Tragically Hip, for example, a lot of people say that they're rock, but again, some of their songs maybe, but most of them fall under that Canadiana/folk kind of genre. Yeah. And if they had put themselves under just folk or Canadiana, then nobody would listen to them, so to speak, right? So
that's correct,
and because they went under that rock genre, they ended up getting hundreds of thousands of Canadian fans, right? So yeah.
So absolutely, it's good to look at how people are going to perceive your music. Like if you go
That's
and say,
right.
okay, this is folk, people will, like I said, they'll avoid it. And they'll say we don't listen to folk, even though they probably do, right?
Yep.
Because Bob Dylan is amazing, but they tend to avoid today's musicians that are doing folk.
Right.
Well, I mean, you were talking about the Tragically Hip. Have you heard Gord Downey's solo stuff when he did that song "You're Possessed"? I mean, that is not at all Tragically Hip genre at all, right?
Yeah, same with the
way out there.
Same with the Chenny Wenjack
Yes,
stuff that he
exactly.
did too, right? So, yeah. So you're in London, you're in Canada, and so one question, usually we don't ask these kinds of questions, but I'm just gonna kind of put you on the spot. We were part of the International Day to Listen, Day of Listening for the Indigenous community. Thank you, Lee. And
you're welcome. You forgot the word in English?
No, yes, I forgot the word in English. Thank you.
See the wink there?
But
hey, I
so
learned
we
that
did
one
for
from you, man.
The Indigenous community. And obviously, there's been a lot going on with the residential schools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What is your perspective on that? Being that you're Canadian and that it's been happening in our own backyard.
I find it very sad. I have known people who's a good friend of mine. His mother was a part of that, and she has a lot of issues today because of her experience. So it's shocking, and as Canadians, we should be shocked by it.
Yeah,
absolutely, and we should bring the truth out. It should all come out.
Damn right.
Now's the time to do it.
Damn right.
Yeah, so we were happy to be part of that. I mean, we got to team up with 4,000 radio stations across Canada on that day, which was absolutely amazing. To be part of something so big. Bell, Rogers, all of the big media corporations all teamed up together and put aside their differences just to get that out. When we were honored that they allowed us and actually asked for us to do that. We were part of their international broadcast. We were the only one broadcasting it in Canada, US, and the UK at the same time. So, which was actually pretty cool. So not only did we get the message out in Canada, but we brought attention to it in the States and the UK as well. So
yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah, exactly, cool, man. Like you're right, man. The word needs to get out there. People need to know. Yeah. Time to stop ignoring this.
Yeah,
it is. It's time to take ownership.
Exactly.
You know, it's shocking to me that the last residential school was closed in 1994, I believe.
1996.
That is absolutely horrific.
Yeah,
yes,
I thought I used to think that residential schools were something that happened 50s, that they closed them all in the 50s, and I could understand that. Not understand it. I mean, that was the rationale, the thinking back then. But the fact that I was still in high school myself when residential schools were open is actually pretty surprising to me. That actually was occurring. I just kind of dated myself how old I was, but
don't worry about it, buddy.
Had already graduated at that point.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And there needs to be an apology by certain people.
Meaningful one too, not just throwing money at them. And
that's
saying,
right.
We apologize.
Not just throwing money, like an actual heartfelt apology. Like, hey, we know what happened. We understand, and we're, sorry. I don't know. It blows my mind, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's mine as well.
Crazy stuff. All right. Anyways, moving on.
Right.
So you do the folk music, country, rock, whatever genre that it kind of falls into. And your new when's your new single coming out, or has it already come out?
It's already come out.
It's already came out when?
It was a month and a half ago, I think.
Month and a half ago.
I don't actually.
We're a little bit late. You know what?
I just realized something.
What's that?
You can probably hear an echo feedback.
No,
from me
we're
because
not
I
getting a
can-
feedback. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
It
cool.
was working fine.
All right, I can hear you better now. Anyway,
Okay. But yeah,
I'm a professional.
I have to I have to apologize because Pamela did reach out a little bit earlier, but we've just been so swamped with other things that I finally got the time to do it. So thank you very much for being patient with us. And so
I'm excited.
yeah, is it just one single, or do you have multiple songs?
It's not just one single. It ended up being we released, I think it was 3 singles, but we released an album of 7 songs. So people call that an EP if it's under 30 minutes or
Right.
But
whatever it is.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So Mellow Lee, you had a question that you wanted to ask DustyMarcus.
Yes, I certainly do, and that is, who is your favorite Muppet? This is a standard Access Radio question. I know it sounds weird, but it's my policy. If you're a fan of the Muppet Show and Jim Henson, who's your favorite Muppet?
Animal. I like Animal because
nice.
He's just crazy, and I love him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. So the only drummer that's popular.
Absolutely.
I saw what you did there.
And there's video of Animal taking on different drummers, playing along with. It's really cool.
Actually, it would be cool to see Animal taking on Dave Grohl.
Yep,
that would be cool.
Dave Grohl, now, if you're listening, get on that, and we'll get you on the show.
Yes, damn right. Who was the guy who's I forget the name in English? Sauerkraut. Who's the guy who's considered the best drummer in the world? It's Dave something or Dan something.
No.
He's from the 50s and he's really, really quick. An Animal took him on.
Oh, okay. Wow. I was going to say the only drummer that I would consider the best drummer would be Neil Peart.
Yeah.
God rest his soul, man. Yeah.
But the rest of
it was awesome.
Yeah.
I got to speak for Ringo. I love Ringo.
There you go. Yeah,
Ringo.
okay.
Yeah. Ringo took it pretty easy.
So you like Animal from the Muppets? Nancy is giving a shout out from Country Roads Records. Hey Nancy, nice to see you again. Are you part of that Country Roads record or no? Do you go there or no?
Are you talking?
You? Yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, you could take the person that we're interviewing. Yes.
Oh.
Oh, he forgot he was here interviewing.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Where am I? Don't worry. It happens to me every day on my radio show.
The CEO of Country Roads Records there. So, hey, Nacy, thank you for joining us here today. We'll actually be in contact with Nacy. We got some big stuff coming with Access Radio. Starting when are we starting? September. So some big news coming very shortly, and Nacy will contact you about that. So don't worry. Anyways, my microphone is doing something really, really strange in my ear, which is
certainly did. It just boosted its volume greatly.
Way up, and then it went way down. Yep. Right? Okay.
No, it's still up for me.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure.
I can still hear you, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's weird. But anyways, that's where were we? You got any more questions there, Lee? I know you had another question. You discussed it earlier from one of our other listeners that gave you a question to ask.
All right, so I gotta ask you, why is your Marcus Dusty?
Okay. People have asked me about this. So here's the thing. My middle name is Mark, M-A-R-C. So I thought DustyMarcus.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Perfect. All right. I'm saddened to know that I'm not the first to ask you that. I was hoping I had something super original that would be super cool, but nah.
We'll think of something for you.
All right, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah. I love the hat, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes.
I started wearing a hat a long time ago, and I kind of got away from it for a while. And when I sort of got back into doing music again, I thought, yeah, the hat.
You know
Gotta
what?
be the hat.
That's a real issue here. They don't have enough haberdasheries around anymore, and I think we should really like. You can find a nice haberdashery in Quebec City, but you can't find one anywhere in Ontario. So this is a real issue. I think we should bring back the haberdashery.
Hashtag bring back the haberdashery.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know how to spell haberdashery, so I can't start the hashtag. So somebody else that knows how to spell it, please start.
We can misspell it and have it as a business name.
Well, there you go.
HABA to spell it that way.
Yeah.
And then copyright that.
That's right.
Yes, yeah. So that's the only one. There you go. See, business ideas flowing everywhere.
Hey, man, it just expands and expands.
That's right.
Yes. Good. Awesome. What else are we talking about? I don't know. Jeez. Oh,
I don't know either.
You know Mark Rosner, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Mark Rosner is listening, or was.
Hi, Mark.
I don't know if he's still here or not. But
hi, Mark.
So what do you think of Mark Rosner? Even though I'm gonna tell you something right now. Okay. He used to play bass guitar in a band. So does that make you think any less of Mark, or is he still a great guy?
I already know exactly where this is going.
Mark is very driven as far as the business goes. And I don't know if he ever sleeps, actually. I've messaged him at all hours and he'll answer. I'm like,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty crazy too. I know. And he's messaged me pretty late and I've answered him too, because there is that time zone thing, right? He's the far end of Canada and like 3 hours behind us, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So there's times that it's like 11 o'clock there. He's texting me and I'm talking, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing up still? Isn't it like 1 or 2 o'clock over there?" So yeah, well, thanks for thanks for reminding me.
Yes, thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the music. So what are you guys up to these days?
Well, we are working on a new single called Take It Down. Cool. And so a good friend of mine produced a long time ago. And so we're going to get together again and do this new song. So very excited about it.
All right. Now, I know we were talking about genres and we wanted to not go into specific genres, but as far as if you would classify, and I hate to even ask this, but what sort of song would you call it? More rock or folk or country, or what would you think it is for the new single?
It's more rock.
Is it?
I would say, yeah.
Definitely. See, I used to say something and I'm going to offend some people here.
Of course you are. You always do. Cheers.
Those who can rock and those who can't country. But I'm slightly kidding, because we used to have a country station and I just say that just as a joke, but anyways, no, all genres of music are welcome here, and we actually interview all genres of whether it's rock, country, folk, doesn't matter, even pop. We've had some pop stars on here, so and we have from the most famous to the least famous type thing. It doesn't matter. We'll interview anybody, including Danko Jones, like we did yesterday, or DustyMarcus, right? So which is pretty cool.
It is awesome. It's awesome to have you on the show, man.
I have to say, Mellow Lee, you look like Willie Nelson. I'm sorry, you do.
Oh my God, you are definitely not the first person to tell me that.
And he probably smokes as much grass as Willie Nelson too.
Probably. Yeah. In fact, immediately after this interview, I got one rolled up out there.
Yeah, we can talk about
you had for breakfast.
What's that?
What about the muffins you had for breakfast?
Well, no, those aren't kicking in yet. I'm okay.
Yes.
Stop doing that, Sauerkraut. I know where
what?
you're trying to steer this conversation.
Yeah, Lee bleeds green. That's for sure. He's cut from a different jib. Do you have any
Ectoplasm.
Yeah, do you have any shows coming up in London or surrounding areas?
Not we just the one we're doing in October right now. But other
Is that
than
with
that,
the Rise Up tour or
the Rise Up tour? Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll
Nice.
be
Nice.
at Aeolian Hall on the 25th of October. So we're looking
Sweet.
forward to that.
I most likely will be in and around that area, anyways. Being that we're from Ontario and we work pretty closely with Mark and Pamela, which is pretty cool. Even though Mark used to play bass guitar,
Even though
I just gotta throw those digs every once in a while.
Yeah,
I used to play.
You gotta
bass guitar too,
understand.
but I also can play lead guitar. I have played lead guitar as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Just gotta tell our dear guest here that we're not just a rock station; we're also a comedy station. So bear with us.
Yeah.
I was warned.
I pre-warned him.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good job.
Yeah.
So, if you weren't DustyMarcus, what would you be doing for a living?
Wow. If I wasn't doing music, I am a computer like a network administrator.
Okay. Yeah.
So I do work in IT, but music is much better.
It's a little bit more relaxed, I think. Yeah.
A lot more relaxed.
Yeah, I would say so.
I do IT as well for the station, and I'm
For
gonna
me.
tell you, essentially for Lee and
Yeah.
one or two other people, constantly just breaking. What did you push? My computer says this. Well, what site were you on? Well, it just popped up this morning. Well, okay.
What does error.404 mean?
I've had it where I used to travel to different sites, and I can't tell you how many times I've walked in and pressed the button on the power adapter.
Right. Yes.
And it was one of the first questions I ask: is it plugged in? And they're always, of course, it's plugged in.
Yeah,
I'm not,
I'm not stupid.
I know my stuff. So, okay.
But you didn't press the power.
The power button. Yeah.
It's always the simplest thing, and that's like Mellow Lee called the other day. He says, "This showed up. Oh my God, what am I gonna do?" I said, "Turn the computer off and then turn it back on."
Turn it back on again.
Absolutely.
Classic IT crowd.
And it worked. It worked.
Oops, sorry. Classic IT crowd answer. Yep. Turn it back off and turn it back on again.
Yeah. I love IT crowd. Those guys.
I figured you would.
Yeah.
Once you said that you were into computers, I figured you'd watch that show.
And there's a lot of truth to that. How the IT people are always in the basement.
Mm-hmm. I know.
As long as everything works, you don't exist. But as soon as things break, it's your fault.
Yeah, right. All right. So, what is? Darn, I forget my question.
You forget your question.
Wanted to get it back to music. I forget my question in English. It was back to the music thing.
Okay.
I completely forget. I don't know.
It's that muffin you had this morning.
It must be kicking in. I'm a professional.
Yeah.
That's okay. Actually, yesterday, I'll tell you a story. I was interviewing the bassist for Danko Jones, and I totally forgot a question. I started going somewhere, and I said, this interview almost didn't happen, and then I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah.
This interview almost didn't happen as well. So what had happened was I got our Facebook Live account suspended because I made a joke about Hillary Clinton. Apparently you can make jokes about Donald Trump, but you cannot make jokes about Hillary Clinton. And it was it was kind of a dual joke. It was about Hillary Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein. So it was
And
Epstein
we're
didn't kill himself.
and we're
joke.
suspended again.
Again, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
just
there's
great.
but
Thanks
yeah,
a
so
lot,
they suspended,
Sauerkraut.
they
We were
suspended
on
the
the
whole
air.
entire account for that, and I thought that was quite odd. So I fixed it all up, and we were able to get around it, and of course get this interview and the other one done. But I just thought it was funny, like it's called a sense of humor. There's got to be a fine line somewhere. I can make fun of the Conservative Party here and fun of the Liberal Party and still make fun of the NDP as well. I mean, that's just the way that I am. And I don't
and you
mean
can
any
make fun of
malice
the
to it.
British, and I'm British. I don't care.
Well,
right?
when I never have made fun of the British. Every statement I've made
Yes,
about the
you
British
have.
has been an
Ever since I've been
absolute
working for you.
Yeah, but that's an absolute statement. That's not
He checks the Oxford
definitely
Dictionary before he
not.
says it.
Yeah.
I remembered my question. Can you pinpoint the moment that you realized that music was your life? Because you were talking about being in IT and stuff like that. Was there any moment at any age when you realized, I need this? I need this in my life.
I know where that
When
was.
I was
Before you
in,
answer, hold on. Before you answer, Dusty, I know exactly where it was. The very first time you were crimping a Cat 5 cable together, you said, I wish I was playing guitar.
I wish I was playing a guitar right now.
Yeah.
Told you we were comedy too.
At
But
that
seriously,
moment, there
Dusty.
was a light that came out.
Yeah. It's like, no, this isn't for me. But no, seriously, man, can you pinpoint a moment when it hit you? Like, this is something that's gonna be in my life forever. Because I can.
When I was in about grade 7, my grandfather gave me a guitar.
Okay.
And he taught me like 3 chords. It was an A, an F, and a G, I think it was. But I took that and I built on it, and I really loved. After that, I was hooked. I just couldn't stop. It was an addiction. And by the time I was in grade 9, I had grouped up with some people, and we were playing music. So
right on.
Yeah.
Grade 9. So what age is that? Sorry,
14,
I'm old.
13, 14,
13, 14. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I think I was
for
15.
the normal person. I think you were much older in grade 9.
Oh, would you knock it off?
when you do kindergarten for a career.
Yeah.
To repeat it 4 times.
Here's one of the good bass player jokes. It's like, what are the 3 most difficult years in a bass player's life?
Kindergarten.
What?
Yeah.
Grade 2.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry, Mark. I know you're watching. Love you.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, definitely cut him off.
Okay. There was one person in particular that I was playing with in, I think, grade 8 and then in grade 9, and then we lost touch. And years later, fast forward to about 2009, 2010, I was jamming with some friends, and he walked, and all of a sudden we were getting the band going again, and we were going. So,
well,
and he was a bass player, I must add.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Like I said, I honestly don't know why the bass player is the one that gets all the rap in a band, because honestly, nobody knows the drummer. You proved it. You said, who's that famous drummer? And you're trying to think of who it was. I mean, we know famous bass guitarists like Flea, Les Claypool, and well, there's a number, 2 or 3 others anyways. So but when it comes to drummers,
you got to mention Cliff Burton if you're talking about bass players.
Right. So, but when it comes to drummers, there's only a handful really that you could really say are crucial to the band. Like Phil Collins.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if he wasn't singing, then
Yeah.
But anyways,
I gotta say, drummers work the hardest, though.
Hell yeah!
Okay, I'll carry my equipment, my guitar, I'll walk in. They got to carry, all this stuff. I really admire those guys because they work They really work for their money.
Damn right they do. And like they gotta pack it up from their jam place, take it all down, take it all apart, and then take it in a van and then set it all back up and then take it all apart again a couple hours later. Like that must suck. I mean, imagine being a singer. Like all I got to do is grab this right here.
Yeah.
Right? And stick it in the back of the van.
Well, I'm sure you have some sort of mixing board too.
Well, maybe a little bit, just sort of saying.
But yeah, much less equipment. But and honestly, if a band is late showing up, it's usually the drummer's fault because his van broke down.
That is true. Why? It's always the drummers that have the vehicles. I just realized.
Well, I mean, they have to because they have to cart. That's not going to fit in a Honda Civic.
No.
It's not going to fit on an e-bike either.
No e-bike.
All right, so cool. So any plans for what you're going to be doing in the future, or like new projects or anything you're working on?
Well, we're working on a new song. It's the first song that's going to be on the next album, and we're looking forward to everything sort of opening up a little bit more so we can start playing places. I was talking to another musician on the weekend. It happens to be my brother, and all they can get is this little sort of patio shows because no one else is doing them right now. So
it's tough these days, man. But like, are you finding it's starting to open back up? Because I know like a lot of musicians have been really, really struggling, like with the sort of isolation of the pandemic and stuff like that.
Lee
can't.
Lee is on the East Coast.
I am,
which is a little bit different than us because they just opened up here again in Ontario, and now we're at like 650 cases a day again.
Of course.
So again, we might this October is wishful thinking for a lot of people because it might just not happen. Which is what has been horrible for all. I can't imagine being a musician and solely depending on that because it has just been horrible because you open back up and you get excited and you start booking dates and then they're like, hold up.
Yeah, and it's not just the musicians; it's the stage crew, it's the people that set everything up, the people behind the mixers. There's no compensation for those guys.
No. Nothing at all. So have you managed to have any live gigs yet since things started opening back up before, I hesitate to say before they shut back down again?
Not yet.
No.
Yeah.
Are you finding that hard on your soul?
It is.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I love the interaction. I love, the crowd and talking to people. And I love people. And when you're in here, there's no social interaction. It's annoying.
Same here, man. Like I played guitar for the last 30, I'm not going to say that many years. Anyway, I played guitar my entire life.
Yeah, they played guitar that long ago. I mean,
yeah, right.
Wasn't Jesus still around back then?
Yeah. But, man, I'm used to, like when you're on the stage, you get the feedback from the audience. Like, so for me, it like lifted me up and gave me more energy. And now that I've become a DJ, there's not much feedback, and it took me a while to adjust to that. And you guys, all you musicians must be finding that, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't wait. I just keep holding on to it's coming back. It will come back.
Oh yes,
and
you can't kill music.
No,
question,
you never will. Try as you might.
The sooner the better. The sooner it gets back to normal, the better. Especially for musicians and the stage crew and all that other fun jazz like that. The whole jam family or jam family. Damn jam family. Yeah, I don't know.
Fodgam family.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, so that's been, our 30 minutes here. We can kind of, you got any last words of wisdom to say there, Dusty?
To all you musicians out there, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't let this hold you back. Just, Get your creativity out there. Write what you're gonna write, and just do it. Keep going.
In the words of I don't know if it was Lonely Island or Andy Samberg, but never stop, never stopping.
That's right. That's
right.
right.
The music must go on.
It has to.
It has to.
Without that,
right.
there's no soul. Like
that's
music
right.
is the soul of life. So
right. Yeah. Good. All right. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us from Facebook, from YouTube, from Twitter, from Twitch, wherever, whoever even said, want to become famous? Buy followers, Prime, and viewers on bigfollows.com. Thank you for spending the 2 seconds watching while you typed that message as well. Shout out to you.
I'll come back anytime. Just let me know.
All right, man. Awesome. Awesome. Right. And keep on rocking, man. And never stop writing those hits. Like, keep them coming out there, because music does make the world go round.
Absolutely, it does. Thanks.
All right.
All right. We'll
take care, guys.
Later.
Peace
Thank
out.
you for joining us. And we are.
It was good talking to you.
Nice talking to you, man. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I don't know what's going on now. Something just changed.
Well,
oops, I hit the wrong button.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, no. All the bad things we said.
I got it all. It's
We're professionals.
Uncanned. How hilarious would that be if you had just like, oh, thank God that ass.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so you just stroll away and leave the computers on, and he and I just keep chatting about stuff like, so how's the weather down there? Yeah. We're still rocking it live here.
All right, well, let's finish it this time for sure. Thank you guys for joining. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll talk to you. Well, we'll be back here tomorrow with another guest from Mr. Rosner. And my microphone did that noise thing again. Didn't it?
Yes, it did.
I have no clue what's going on here. I'm going to actually get in contact with the company and probably get a new one because it's driving me nuts. Anyways, we'll see you all tomorrow.